Saint of the Day. November 22nd. Saint Cecilia. Virgin and Martyr. Born, 2nd century AD Rome. Died, 176-180 or 222-235 AD Sicily. Major Shrine, Santa Cecilia in Trastevere, Rome. Feast, November 22nd. Patronage. Hymns, great musicians, poets, Albi, France, Archdiocese of Omaha, Mar del Plata, Argentina. Saint Cecilia is the patroness of musicians. It is written that as the musicians played at her wedding she sang in her heart to the Lord. Her feast day is celebrated in the Latin Catholic, Eastern Catholic, and Eastern Orthodox churches and in the Anglican Communion on November 22nd. She is one of 7 women, in addition to the Blessed Virgin, commemorated by name in the canon of the Mass. While the details of her story appear to be fictional, her existence and martyrdom are considered a historical fact. She is said to have been beheaded with a sword. An early Roman Christian church, Santa Cecilia, was founded in the 4th century in the Trastevere section of Rome, reputedly on the site of the house in which she lived. A number of musical compositions are dedicated to her, and her feast day has become the occasion for concerts and musical festivals. With many of the early church martyrs, there are often stories and legends but not much historical information. Saint Cecilia probably lived in the 2nd or 3rd century, and tradition says she died about 177 AD. Although details of her life may be unknown to us, Saint Cecilia was one of the most revered early virgin martyrs of Rome, as evidenced by her name appearing in the Roman canon of the Mass, Eucharistic Prayer 1. She is one of the 7 women commemorated by name in the Roman canon. There is evidence of a church named in her honor dating to the late 4th century. A feast day in honor of Saint Cecilia was celebrated as early as 545. Cecilia was born in a wealthy Roman family and was a Christian by birth. Her family gave her in marriage to Valerius, a pagan nobleman. Cecilia promised to remain a virgin, and she was successful in persuading Valerius to respect her virginity on their wedding night. Later, Valerius was converted to Catholicism along with his brother, Tiburtius. These 2 brothers dedicated themselves to burying the Christian martyrs, which was illegal. They were arrested and sentenced to death for refusing to renounce their religion. Cecilia continued the work of converting people to the Christian faith and of burying the Christian dead, even though it was against the law. Hundreds were baptized through her witness and strength of faith. She planned to have her home preserved as a church after her death. Her refusal to worship false gods and her burying of the dead lead to her arrest. Saint Cecilia was brought to trial and sentenced to death. It took several days for her to die, and it is said that she converted many people who came to care for her as she was dying. Saint Cecilia died lying on her right side with her hands crossed in prayer. The position of her fingers 3 extended on her right hand, and 1 on the left were her final silent profession of faith in the Holy Trinity, 3 persons in one God. Saint Cecilia was buried in the catacomb of Saint Callistus. In the Middle Ages, Saint Cecilia became a very popular saint. She is remembered today as the patron of musicians, composers, instrument makers, and poets. There is a story that Saint Cecilia was said to have heard heavenly music inside her heart when she was forced to marry the pagan Valerian. During her wedding, Cecilia sat and sang to God in her heart. Thus, she was declared to be the patron of musicians. Musical compositions, poems, art, and festivals have grown out of this story. A few examples of the many artistic works about Saint Cecilia. Chaucer commemorates Saint Cecilia in his Second Nun's Tale. John Dryden's poem A Song for Saint Cecilia's Day was set to music by Handel in his Ode for Saint Cecilia's Day. Charles Gounod composed the Saint Cecilia Mass. Benjamin Britten composed the hymn to Saint Cecilia. Saint Cecilia reminds us of the ways that our music and art can lead us to praise God.